I'm sorry, I kind of disconnected there for a second. Which Yeshua is, you know, not correct because it's Yah. Okay. I come in my Father's name, Yahshua. Yah saves. Okay. So where do we get the name Jesus? Well, they will say that it is the uh, English form of the Hebrew name Yeshua. Well, if nobody spoke Hebrew 2,000 years ago, why do you all of a sudden you want to call on Hebrew? And see, the lie gets very intriguing and very mixed up in here. Okay, now the Jesus obviously does not come from Yahshua, because Yahshua in English is Joshua. Okay, names are transliterated, means by the sound. Okay, whatever sound, whatever letters your language does, okay, that's how you write it out. But the name sounds the same in any language. If you went to China, Joshua would not be Huan Dao. No, it would be some form that would sound as close to Joshua as they could get it. Okay? Anywhere in the world that you go. Okay? It's done the same way. So if you have ears to hear, Joshua, Yahshua, Jesus. And I've actually had people say, oh, it's exactly the same. Okay, well, that proves my point, that Satan has deceived to the point to where people cannot, with ears, they cannot hear, because it is impossible for someone to say that Jesus sounds just like Yahshua. Not even close. Jesus comes from a Greek word, Isus. Okay, Isus, Jesus. Okay, and they actually change it a little because you go to Latin and Spanish and it's Jesus. Isus, Jesus. The H and the I, the J and the H have different pronunciations. Okay, Jesus, Isus. Okay, now let's play the sound game. Zeus, Isus. Okay, so what father is that calling upon? Okay, whose father did Isus come in? And technically, if you take the letter I, like in Eli, my El, Eli, Eli, okay, my El, the I is my, okay, so if it's I, Zeus, because the I actually has an E sound, like it's not Italian, it's Italia, okay, the I is an E sound. Zeus. Kind of really sounds like my Zeus. Jesus. And then English changed it to Jesus, because Satan realized that it's getting a little too, knowledge is increasing, and people are, because a couple of hundred years ago, people couldn't read and write any language. Okay, only the educated people could read and write. The common people couldn't. Okay, so as people's knowledge, well, the printing press started a revolution for the world. Okay, even though many other countries, for Europe, okay, the printing press started a revolution for Europe, because if you look at other countries, okay, such as China, their alphabet goes back 5,000 years. Okay, many countries throughout the world, people in the world nowadays hate to say, but Islam, the Muslims, from 700 to about 400 when they were finally thrown out of Spain, okay, with Queen Isabella and King Fernando. When they threw the Moors out of Spain, the Muslims out of Spain. Until then, the Muslim world was, spectacular. The architecture, the literature, everything. While the Christians were going through the Dark Ages, okay, which now are the Middle Ages, because they realized after a while that the Dark Ages really sounds bad for them, okay. When Rome fell, okay, I have a story. Rome had baths everywhere. People in Rome bathed always. When Rome fell, they took the last bath. Okay, one of the queens of England was noted for saying, "I bathe every year on my birthday, whether I need to or not." The French invented perfume because they never bathed. Okay, perfume was to cover up the stench of, I haven't bathed in 10 years. I haven't touched water in 10 years. Okay, all the way to medicine. Okay, the Civil War here in America. More people probably died from the doctor's hands than they did from bullets from the cannonballs and the musket balls from the other side, be it the North or the Confederacy. Okay, because doctors believed, and imagine, doctors believed that washing your hands didn't do anything. You didn't have to wash your hands because sickness was a spiritual thing from evil spirits and this and that. Your hands, the filth on your hands, the blood of the last guy, that has nothing to do with it. So let's just keep operating. More people died from the doctors than they did from the war. But this is the things that have transpired, okay, to where so many things that we believe is true are simply not, okay. As I say, the name Jesus is, now you can go back to the Greek, which is roughly 2,000 years old, the Greek, but the Greek name is Jesus, okay. When you look at the New Testament, okay, the New Testament has words in it which is very troubling for the scholars and the doctors and the PhDs and the wise men of this world. As Yahweh says, the wisdom of the world is foolishness to him. Okay, you look at the way that everything is. Okay, you look at all the way through the New Testament, you'll see things like Messiah, which is being interpreted the Christ. Okay, so if it wasn't in Hebrew, and the Hebrews could not speak, read, or write Hebrew, why are you writing in Hebrew and translating it for the Greeks? Okay, and I can guarantee that those translations were put in later. They even have them in parentheses in the King James. Okay, that they were put in later. There's the word rabbi. Being interpreted master. One of the best is Abba, Father. They don't even say it's being, okay, because Abba is Father in Hebrew. They're Hebrew words all the way through. Saul, when he was on the road to Damascus, it says, a voice spoke to him in Hebrew. Now Satan says, oh no, it really meant Aramaic. Well, the King James has been around since 1611, thereabouts. Okay, so now we know that it's Aramaic because we feel like it, because these scholars and all the people, they know better than the people that did the translations 400 years ago. Now we're so much further from it that we must know better, and in my point of view, it's preposterous. Okay, it's like saying, the phone game. Okay, here, let me tell, going around the classroom when we were kids, let me tell the first guy something, and he's going to tell the other one who's going to tell him all the way around the room. So what these people are saying is that the guy at the end, the other side of the room, the last guy that heard, he's the only guy that really knows what was said. Because the first guy that started it, he doesn't know what he's talking about. No, it's that last guy. He's the one that knows what was actually said. A fool knows everything but his own foolishness, because they cannot see. Because do I take it that they're just liars? No, I don't. I like Dr. Brown. Do I believe that he's just a straight up liar? And no, because you can't be that, because you're a liar doesn't make everybody else believe you. Okay, these are stories that have been going around. Okay, it's the same story with a different twist. Okay, but for now, we're going to end here for now, and we'll pick it up on the next one. And let's see if you can see. And we'll pick it up right from here.